Good morning, students. Welcome to the session. So today we are going to discuss the Unit 4, Lesson number 4 of 9th Standard English subject. So this is the first session, children. Unit 4, that is the Portrait of a Lady. Portrait of a Lady, written by Kushwant Singh. So let us discuss first regarding the note about the author. So this lesson, that is the Portrait of a Lady, was Portrait of a Lady is written by Kushwant Singh. So note about the author. Kushwant Singh is an Indian writer in English. He was born on 2nd February 1914. So children, he was born on, some of the brief note regarding the author. So he was born on 2nd February 1914. He was a English writer. So he is a prominent Indian novelist and journalist. He was also a novelist. He was a prominent novelist and journalist. Novelist and also was a journalist. Singh's weekly column with malice towards one and all, carried by several Indian newspapers, is among the most widely read columns in the country. So with malice towards one and all. So this column under the newspaper, Indian newspapers, which was Singh's weekly column. So he has written to the newspaper weekly. So under this column, he made so many discussions and topics, and it was published in newspapers of the country. So Singh is best known for his penchant for secularism, his humor, and an abiding love of poetry. He was very promising towards the poetry. He is the recipient of the Padma Bhushan in 1974 and Padma Vibhushan in 2007. Right, children? He was awarded by Padma Bhushan. He got Padma Bhushan. In 1974, and also Padma Vibhushan in 2007. He was one of the editors of the famed Illustrated Weekly of India. He was also one of the editor. He was one of the editors, to Illustrated Weekly of India. Okay, children. So his works include a history of the Sikhs, train to Pakistan, Delhi, etc. So this is about brief note about the author, that is Kushwant Singh. So let us discuss regarding the warm-up activity that is given in your textbook. That is a portrait of a lady, children. So portrait of a lady. So portrait means here a photograph. You can say the photograph, the picture of a lady. Then who is the lady here discussed? That is very important. So before going to discuss that, to know that what is the matter it was discussed in the lesson, let us discuss the warm-up activity. As I told you that this warm-up activity gives an idea regarding the topic or lesson. So here it is given, make groups of 5 or 6 students, talk to your friends about your grandparents using the hints given below. So here it was an activity was given, that is we have to think and we have to discuss among ourselves. So that is of the grandparents, of our grandparents. We should be very proud regarding of our parents and also of our grandparents. Okay, so many of we are not living with our grandparents, but nowadays we know the importance and the essential role of the family, that is by the grandparents. So name of your maternal or paternal grandparents or any aged relative in your family, their age. Also, do they live with you? So this is the question is given. So why we have discussed this regarding the paternal or maternal grandparents? Paternal grandparents means the father and mother, whereas maternal grandparents means mother's father and mother. I think you all know that. So apart from these grandparents, if any aged relative is in your family, find out or know the age of the particular person, grandparent or a relative. And also it is a discussion, it is made to discuss that how many of these grandparents or aged relative are living with you. That is the main important thing. If the grandparents are living with you, the aged family member is with you, then it is very what you call an example and also an experience that we should not forget in our life. So if not, where else the way you help them? If they are not living with you, find out the reason in a beneficial manner, in a good manner, and where else the way you help them. Otherwise, how can you are going to help the grandparents if they are not living with your family? So that is also you have to consider. Nowadays, what we are losing our relatives. We are not having a bondage, that is a bonding relationship with our family members. So by attaching with the family members, we learn so many morals. We learn so many aspects of our life, and also we are going to share and get confidence from the grandparents. So that is why it is mentioned there. The way you celebrate their birthdays. Usually we are all going to celebrate our birthdays, daughters or sons' birthdays. But how many of us are celebrating grandparents' birthday? If a question arises, simple answer that is, we don't know the birthday date. So when they are born, because they don't have any documents. But even to remembering, even to getting those birthday dates, we can celebrate, isn't it? But this is not going to happen in majority nowadays. So we have to look into this matter. So probably very less very less families, very few number of families are going to celebrate grandparents' birthdays, isn't it? And also learn about their favorite food and pastimes. Children, listen carefully and listening is here to get the information from your parents regarding your grandparents, and also of your aged relative if it is there in your family, whether they are living with you or not living with you. Find out the reason. If they are not living, how can you help them? Write down or discuss. It is very important to discuss. Remember those great personalities of the olden days, and also of they are living together with us, or if not, we have to learn regarding that particular person. Okay, children, and also learn about the past times. How was the time? How was the days during those times? So you have to learn, get information, children. This is also one of the important aspect in our life, that we have to know our family and grandparents in detail, children. So the second activity, that is B, was given a warm-up activity. Plan how you want to celebrate your grandparents' day. The day, date and time, people you would like to invite. So if you are going to celebrate your grandparents' birthday, how you are going to plan, how you are going to celebrate, and to whom you are going to invite. So make a list. That is also one of the moral we are getting. You get one skill, that is arranging a program, celebrating a function with your family. So this is all. If you are going to concentrate on these matters, you get good skills of writing and good skills of social relationship bonding. Okay. So collect photos, if any, and prepare a speech. Good. This is a good activity. Prepare a speech. Share your experiences with them. Discuss their importance in the family. So this is about the warm-up activity given regarding this lesson. That is a portrait of a lady. So children, I hope you are getting this information from your parents, or you are going to collecting the information regarding this. So now, let me give some idea regarding this lesson. So this portrait of a lady lesson, written by Kushal Singh, is a short story. And it is also very famous, where it is considered as an Indo-Anglian writer. Kushal Singh is also considered as an Indo-Anglian writer. So here in this unit, author Kushal Singh is going to describing his grandmother. So he describes his grandmother very movingly and beautifully in this story. So portrait of a lady here, the grandmother of the author Kushal Singh. What he is going to share, what he is going to say regarding this lesson. So we will discuss. Okay. Since the time the writer's memory holds, he had always remembered his grandmother as a very old woman with wrinkled skin, white hair and slight stoop. So like this, he is going to introduce his grandmother. Children, let's have a look on the paragraphs, what it is given, what it is discussed. The first paragraph, open your textbook, children, follow the lines. And it is a picture was given, a photograph was given that resembling the portrait of the lady in this lesson. So you can observe the picture. So there you are going to notice some of the birds. Birds are also there, and where the woman, the lady, is going to be feeding those birds with a bowl in her hand, and how they are very fond of that lady is also visible through this photo or picture. Okay, so let's see the first paragraph. My grandmother, like everybody's grandmother, was an old woman. She had been old and wrinkled for the 20 years that I had known her. Since from 20 years the author is knowing his grandmother. People said that she had once been young and pretty. People are saying that when the grandmother was young, she was so pretty and even had a husband. That is a grandfather. Okay, but that was hard to believe. My grandfather's portrait hung above the mantelpiece in the drawing room. So here now, when the author is saying this, he said, my grandmother's portrait hung. Portrait means photograph, a photo frame, a photograph with the grandfather's. My grandfather's portrait hung above the mantelpiece in the drawing room. But now he is remembering, the author remembering the grandfather. So grandfather was died and his photo, that is portrait, is hanging on the mantelpiece in the drawing room. He wore a big turban and loose fitting clothes. The description of his grandfather is mentioned. He wore a big turban and loose fitting clothes. His long white beard covered the best part of his chest. He has a long beard and he looked at least 100 years old. So that photograph which was hung on the drawing room will be visible to him with a turban, a loose fitting clothes, a long white beard, and which was almost covered his chest, and it looks that his grandfather lived for 100 years. Whether we are going to live 100 years nowadays, we are not enough strong that the world people are living their life. They are enjoying their lives. Now we are not having such a lifespan. The lifespan of human beings are going to be reduced. It is estimated that is 56 average lifespan of human beings. It is reduced to 56 years. If we maintain our good habits with all yoga, pranayama, exercises, then we will going to live long. That is depends upon our habits. Okay, our food habits. Okay, so he seems to be 100 years, and he did not look the sort of person who would have a wife or children. So here he did not look the sort of person who would have a wife or children. He looked as if he could only have lots and lots of grandchildren. So grandchildren, he has so many of grandchildren. As for my grandmother being young and pretty, the thought was almost revolting. So grandmother was so beautiful, so young, so pretty, and because of that, that grandfather has so many grandchildren. That is mentioned here. And also the idea that the grandmother was so lovely, so beautiful, so young and pretty, that information what he is getting from the others regarding the grandmother, it was almost revolting to the author Pushpan Singh. She often told us of the games she used to play as a child. So grandmother used to share the games that she is going to be playing as if she was in her childhood. That seemed quite absurd and undignified on her part. So when she is going to revealing their stories, their game that is going to be played, it looks some absurd, quite absurd and undignified on our part, and we treated it like the fables of the prophets she used to tell us. So, the first paragraph, we are going to know that the author is introducing his grandfather and grandmother, and how he got some information regarding the grandmother and the grandfather, that is here it mentioned. So children, I hope you are understanding. We completed the first paragraph of this lesson. In the next period, we are going to discuss the second paragraph. So take care children, read the lesson, understand the meaning. Okay. Now write down this note on your notebook. We will continue the next period. Take care, bye children.